A man was charged with the murder of Tupac Shakur.
But why did he do it? How did they find him? And who secretly knew? 25-year-old Tupac was riding in his BMW in Las Vegas and his manager Suge Knight was driving. They were waiting at a red light when a white Cadillac pulled up next to them and shots rang out. 4 of them hitting Tupac, which led to the end of his life. Drop the rose emoji as a rest in peace to Tupac. This all happened right after a huge fight in a casino involving Tupac and a guy named Orlando Anderson. Things got heated when Tupac's crew and Orlando's crew began fighting. There were a lot of witnesses during all of this, but the story remained a mystery, especially because 2 years later, the main suspect, Orlando, died in a separate gang shooting. And because the people who witnessed Tupac's drive-by didn't want to get involved. They kept their mouths closed. But finally, on September 29, 2023, the first arrest in this case has been made, and the criminal basically told on himself.
Turns out Orlando's uncle was involved in the killing, and his name is Dwayne Davis,
also known as Keith D. Here's how he got caught. After the world pointed the finger at P. Diddy, Biggie Smalls, and all of Bad Boy Records for the death of Tupac, it was the perfect getaway for Keith D. Tupac and Biggie became enemies after Tupac was shot during a robbery in New York. Tupac survived the attack, but he then accused Biggie Smalls of knowing that the robbery would go down. This beef was so big that it was one of the huge reasons behind the East Coast versus West Coast beef. It was New York's Bad Boy Records versus LA's Death Row Records. Comment below if you remember this beef or at least heard about it. So when Tupac ended up dead in Vegas, people thought it was a hit made by Biggie. Then Biggie got killed 6 months later. So everything was a mystery. Turns out this hit in Vegas was fueled by the casino fight. Keith D dropped a book called Compton Street Legend, where he bragged about how him and Suge Knight were the last 2 living witnesses of that night. It also detailed parts of his involvement in the shooting. This sent alarm bells to the cops, which led him to raid his home in Nevada and pick up more evidence.
Now he could be facing the rest of his life behind bars. But people are still trying to figure out if someone else organized for all of this to go down. A lot of people think that it was Tupac's own team, including Suge Knight, the person driving the car, and Keith D might let the world know what really happened. Keith D is now 60 and has avoided this case for 27 years.
Tupac was killed, but he left us with gems like California Love, All Eyes on Me, Changes, Juice, and Poetic Justice. Just remember that legends never die. Like and follow for more.